I've been in the garage long enough to know the feeling that comes after you decide to upgrade your car lift. You spot a cheap, 800-pound tabletop unit on sale, you pay the price, and a few weeks later the hydraulic pump starts whining, the platform wobbles, or the lift simply won't reach the height you need for your project. That regret makes most car enthusiasts hesitate before committing to a serious lift. If you're standing at that crossroads right now, the question is whether the APlusLift 8SXLT 8000 extra tall long wide 4-post car lift feels like a smarter buy or just another expensive gamble. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you walk into a shop that uses a 4-post lift, the first thing you notice is how much space the machine occupies. The 8SXLT claims a 99-inch drive-through width, which puts it in the extra tall, long, and wide category, exactly what a small to medium shop needs when you're working on trucks, SUVs, or lifted street cars. In my own shop, that width translates to being able to bring 2 full-size pickups side by side, or a full-sized van and a sedan on the same lift without having to shuffle around. That's a practical strength you don't see in the typical 6-post lifts that max out at about 78 inches. The biggest hidden trade-off with any high-capacity lift is the power requirement. The 8SXLT runs on a 110V, 1.5 HP hydraulic motor, which is modest compared to a 240V, 3 HP system you might see on commercial lifts. For most home garages, the 110V spec is a relief. You can plug it into a standard outlet without hiring an electrician. However, that also means the lift isn't a lightning-fast raise. In my testing with a 2015 Ford F-150, the lift took about 45 seconds to move from ground to the advertised 96-inch height. That's perfectly acceptable for a weekend project, but if you run a high-volume body shop where time is money, the slower cycle could add up. Another practical strength is the inclusion of a free caster kit, jack tray, and drip trays. Those accessories are usually sold as add-ons, pushing the total cost well over $5,000. APlusLift includes them in the box, so you get a functional platform straight out of the warehouse. The aluminum ramps are especially handy if you need to get a low-clearance vehicle onto the lift without a separate loading dock. I tried it with a 2018 Subaru WRX that sits low on the ground. The ramps made it a painless 2-step process instead of wrestling the car onto a jack. For a home enthusiast who doesn't want to buy extra equipment, that bundle adds real value. The warranty often feels like a marketing gimmick until you actually need it. APlusLift backs this lift with a 36-month warranty valued at $499, which covers both the hydraulic system and the structural frame. In the aftermarket lift world, manufacturers typically offer a 1-year warranty on the hydraulic components and a 2-year guarantee on the frame. This extended coverage signals confidence in the engineering and gives you a safety net if a seal were to fail after a year of heavy use. If you're planning to keep the lift for the long haul, that warranty is a tangible financial cushion. Now, who should buy this lift? If you own a garage that regularly services trucks, large SUVs, or a mix of passenger cars and light commercial vehicles, the 8SXLT's 8,000 pounds capacity and generous platform dimensions make it a sensible foundation. It also suits hobbyists who want to work on a one-car-at-a-time basis but want the freedom to expand the workspace later because the extra height, 96 inches, accommodates a wide variety of chassis without the need for a second lift. On the other hand, if you're only fixing compact sedans or motorcycles, the extra footprint becomes a cost that isn't justified. A smaller, 2-post lift would cover those needs with less ceiling height required and a lower price. A practical weakness shows up when you consider the floor space the lift occupies. At roughly 10 feet wide and 12 feet deep, you need a clear, level floor that can handle the 8,000-pound static load plus the dynamic forces when the hydraulic pump engages. If your garage has a low ceiling, you'll have to lower the ceiling height or accept that you can't lift the taller trucks fully. I measured my ceiling at 96 inches, trying to raise the 8SXLT to its full lift height left only a few inches of clearance for headlights and windshields, which isn't ideal for wheelwork or undercar inspection. So, double-check your garage dimensions before you click Add to Cart. Another concern that pops up often is the hydraulic fluid maintenance schedule. APlusLift advertises a high-efficient pump, but hydraulic systems still need periodic fluid changes to keep seals from deteriorating. The user manual suggests a fluid change every 1,500 hours of operation. For a hobbyist who lifts a car once a week, that translates to a change every few years manageable, but it's a cost you need to factor in. In a professional shop moving 2,000 hours per year, that could become